Hi friends, welcome back to the Jim Dempsey Fundraising channel. If you've ever wondered, how do I write an appeal that actually grabs attention and inspires action, this is the video for you. Year-end giving is the biggest fundraising season for nonprofits, and more organizations are realizing that donors don't give to numbers, they give to stories. And that's where year-end review appeals shine. They allow you to wrap your mission in stories, remind donors of the impact they've made over the past year, and invite them to keep that momentum going into the next year. So today, I'm going to share 4 strategies to help you craft year-end review appeals that resonate deeply, inspire generosity, and elevate your year-end results in 2025. Strategy number 1, use storytelling to highlight donor impact. The first strategy for story-driven campaigns in 2025 is to highlight donor impact through storytelling. Too often, nonprofits talk about what they've accomplished, but the real magic happens when you frame accomplishments as what donors have made possible. For example, instead of saying, our organization served 500 families this year, say, because of you, 500 families were served with dignity and care. That shift places donors at the center of the story and allows them to feel ownership of the impact. Story-driven year-end review appeals should always include 1 or 2 compelling stories of transformation. Pick a direct community member or project that clearly illustrates your mission in action. When you tell their story, how their life changed and how your nonprofit walked alongside them, you help donors see the concrete human impact of their giving. But don't just tell the story. Connect it back to the donor. Reinforce the idea that this story is their story too. For example, when Maria walked through our doors last spring, she didn't know where else to turn. Because of your support, she now has stable housing and a new job. This is the kind of change your generosity creates. See the difference? In 2025, personalization is key. Donors want to feel seen, valued, and part of something bigger than themselves. By making storytelling a donor-centered practice, your year-end review appeals will stand out from all the others. Strategy number 2, structure your appeal as a narrative journey. The second strategy is to structure your appeal as a narrative journey rather than a list of facts. Think of your year-end review letter or video like a storybook. You want to take your partners on a journey from where things were through the challenges into the progress made and finally towards the hope and opportunities ahead. This approach engages your partners emotionally and intellectually. For example, you might begin with a reflection on the challenges your community faced in 2025. Then transition into the ways your nonprofit responded, sharing stories or resilience and transformation. Finally, you close with an invitation. Imagine what we can accomplish together in 2026 if we build on this momentum. A narrative journey does 3 things. It honors the past, celebrates the present, and casts vision for the future. That 3-part rhythm is memorable and helps your message flow naturally rather than sounding like a fundraising report. And remember, this isn't about telling your organization's story. It's about telling the shared story between your donors and your mission. When you position donors as co-authors in that story, they feel deeply invested in how the story continues into the next year. Strategy number 3, use visuals and multimedia to reinforce your story. The third strategy is to bring your year in review appeals to life with visuals and multimedia. In 2025, donors are consuming more video images and interactive media than ever before. If your appeal is just a long wall of text, you'll lose attention quickly. Instead, use photos, graphics, and videos to highlight impact. A short 2-minute video showcasing highlights from the year, clients served, programs expanded, stories of hope can move your partners in ways a letter alone never could. Even infographics show how gifts were used can provide clarity and confidence. Social media is also a huge opportunity for story-driven appeals. Create a mini campaign where you post a story of impact every day for a week leading up to your big year in review appeal. Each post reinforces the larger campaign message and builds excitement. The important thing here is consistency. Every image, every video clip, every design should tie back to your core story of donor impact. Donors need to see and hear again and again that their giving matters. By using visuals and multimedia, you create a multi-sensory experience. Donors not only read about impact, they see it, hear it, and feel it. And that emotional connection increases the likelihood they'll respond generously when the appeal arrives. Strategy number 4, end with a vision-centered call to action. Finally, the fourth strategy for effective story-driven year in review appeals is to end with a vision-centered call to action. Too often, appeals close with a generic line like, "Please support us with your gift today." That doesn't inspire donors. It simply asks them for a transaction. And remember the difference between a transactional relationship and a transformational relationship. It's night and day. Instead, your call to action should feel like the next chapter of a story. If you've told a powerful year in review story that highlights donor impact, the natural conclusion is to invite them to help write the next chapter. For example, your generosity made this year unforgettable. Will you join us in making 2026 even more impactful? Together, we've already changed hundreds of lives. Imagine what we can do next year if you give today. This approach casts vision. It reminds our partners that the story isn't finished yet, and their gift today ensures the stories continue. A vision-centered call to action ties together everything you've shared: the challenges overcome, the victories celebrated, and the opportunities ahead. By framing giving as part of a bigger story, you inspire your partners to act not out of obligation, but out of excitement to be part of something meaningful. So, let's recap the 4 strategies for creating story-driven campaigns and year-in-review appeals in 2025. Use storytelling to highlight your donor impact. Structure your appeal as a narrative journey. Use visuals and multimedia to reinforce the story. And end with a vision-centered call to action. If you follow these strategies, your appeals will do more than raise money. They'll deepen your partner relationships and strengthen your community of supporters for the year ahead. Thanks for watching the Jim Dempsey Fundraising channel. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other nonprofit leaders here at year end. And I'd love to hear from you. How does your nonprofit plan to use storytelling in your year-end appeals? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. And as always, I wish you the best as you strive to become fully funded. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.